There was a day I wanted to go home. My sister cried like crazy. She said, "Sister, go back." Applying for a job, and somebody called me. He said, "I have a job for you." And because I was so looking, I didn't even ask, "What is it? What's the job description?" So I just was happy, and my sister prompted, "Sister, no, when you just no, one be sano, so now I called the person back. I said, "By the way, what would I be doing?" I saw, "Is this old lady, and she needs somebody to clean her house." And I said, "Hold on one second. Did you take a look at my resume?" He said, "Yeah." And I said, "So you deem it fit for me to go clean somebody's house?" At that point, man went like that. I insulted him. Sorry, I'm not like that, but I had to do it because I was so down. What do you mean? Okay. And then after I was done with the raining of insult, I just lay flat on the carpet and I cried. Yeah, my name is Emelia Addo Marfo-Sarbeng. My maiden name is Emelia Addo, short, and my married name is the Marfo-Sarbeng. I've been in the US since September 1999, so almost 26 years. And in the US, I started as a financial examiner for State of Maryland, auditing insurance companies for the State of Maryland. And then I transitioned to the US government, started working for the Bureau of Economic Analysis as an accountant auditing. So I work in the foreign direct investment in the US. So every company owned more than 10% by a foreigner. That's the department I worked in. I did that for about almost 4 or 5 years. And then I went to the Department of Housing, where I worked as an auditor, auditing banks and mortgage companies for the US government. So all combined, federal career, almost 11 years. And then I transitioned to financial services in not transition fully, but part-time at other financial services in April 2015, and then full-time October 2016. My journey in the US was not planned. Unlike most people, I did not plan to stay outside my dear country, Ghana. I was a young woman doing well, and went to the UK to do what's called ACCA. So I studied at Emelia Addo College in London. And how faith and detour will be, I came to the US. At that time it was painful. I came to the US to take off my husband. My mom didn't like her situation being a supportive spouse. So at home, doing all the hard work and everything. But you know Ghana, if you're not bringing, and in the world in general, if you're not bringing in income, whatever contribution you are making to the family is not counted. So every time she would tell me, "Emelia, it's so school, you that statement, some person to send me a so school." And I heard that. I was reminded almost every day. And she made me know how she didn't like her situation. And I didn't want to be like her. So I took her advice. So that shaped me. While my mom did that at home, my dad worked very hard to take care of the family. And I'm telling you, my dad gave us good life. Now with that, okay, I saw a man that was working very hard to bring home income to give us the good life. And I saw my mom in the background working equally hard to make the home a home. So I didn't want a sponsor. Remember, I saw my dad working, and my mom was telling me if I didn't want to be like her because she wanted to contribute, like financially, but she didn't have the means or whatever it is. So now I did. Sponsor is out of the way, please. And my mom did not have financial independence. So if she had to do something, it had to come from my dad. I don't know how she felt, but based on how she was always advising me, I don't think she liked it. So with that, I don't want to be sponsored. So young ladies, please, whatever gifts God gave you deep, deep, deep down. It doesn't even have to be education only. People they can do stuff with their hands. I want you to do soul searching deep, deep down. Whatever gift you have can be made into a career. And by the way, some of us are here to help. I mean, genuinely, if somebody is ready to bring out their skills, we can mentor. Yes. 1998 was a very transformative year for me. Started with the accident and went to London in July 1998 for the ACCA course. Then I told you I had been to the US before. So those of you go to take the Inte, I had an Inte, okay? I was in Conti, I was in Dome, and my boyfriend then was in Conti, so Conti Dome Alliance we formed. And the relationship was good. And I'm so grateful for God putting us together at that time because it made me grounded. So when I was going to London for the course, actually I'm protecting him, the doctor, okay, I'll say the doctor. He's the reason why I went to London. He applied for the course and everything, so we planned life together. And I got there, it was like, that was the end of the relationship, cut off. No reason, but I was absolutely certain when he came out and said, this is it, I'm suffocating. I thought, okay, suffocating, that's a big word. What am I choking you or whatever? I said, well, and this was my last parting words. Well, nobody has the right to anybody's child. So if you are suffocating, let it be. But Emelia Addo, if you come back and give me the whole world plus everything, the whole world plus heaven, you won't have me again. Then somebody introduced my husband, Patrick. I wasn't ready, but my friend said, you are living by yourself, at least talk to somebody. So long distance, again, I'm in UK, Patrick is here in Maryland. We started talking, and Patrick said, okay, I have time off work in December. So I will come to London so that at least we meet. On board British Airways flight, Patrick had a stroke. That will make him permanently disabled. So he was 36. Now I had to come to the US, but I didn't have to. I could have run because nobody knew me. But I said, Emelia, maybe you have sons in the future. And you have a brother, you have brothers. If this man laying down here was your brother or your son, how would you want the woman, that Emelia, that he boarded the flight for, how would you want her to behave? Would you be happy if she ran away? I said, no, I'll take care of him. That's how I came to the US to take care of Patrick. So our marriage started as me being a nurse, but he wouldn't let anybody take care of him, even the hospital, King's Hospital. And then I came to the US to take care of Patrick. So life gave me a big detour. Yeah, I left Ghana to come and do ACCA and go back home and pick up where I left off. And God gave me a detour in life. That landed me in the US. So that's how I got here, my dear. Okay. Yeah. So when I came in, like, the person I'm coming to was laying down, couldn't work. All the education could not be transferred. So, and I had come in with a lot of education. I had masters back in Ghana. Here I am coming with ACCA level 2 qualification. I didn't get all the way to the end, but the intermediate level. I couldn't find a job. So the job was either I was overqualified or inexperienced. And I kept hearing this, overqualified, inexperienced, overqualified. So I could not find anything to do until I went back to school. So I had to go get my own American education. So then I went for the MBA. Okay. And my husband advised, all your education is from outside of this country. Americans are some ways, so you need to go to a school that at least that has a name. So I went to Loyola University, Maryland, known very well in our area for, in the country, for the business school. And interestingly, before I even walked the stage, I graduated in what? December 2014. And before the graduation ceremony, I got a job with the state of Maryland as a financial examiner. And guess what? When I went to the interviewing, and one of the panelists asked me, did Sean talk to you? I said, Sean invited me to the interview, but that's all. And they started laughing and said, you went to Loyola University of Maryland? I said, yeah, I'm a Loyola graduate. And they looked at each other and they said, Sean went to Loyola, that's why he's not here. So he had to recuse himself from the interview because of the alumni connection. That's why I was like, whoa. So the school connection is very strong. So and I'm thinking, maybe the only reason, I didn't have any work experience. I went for SunTrust Bank as a customer service rep, but that wouldn't get me into a position like this, I'm thinking. So it has to do with the school connection. So I had to go have my own way, go to get an American education, and then after that, I started finding real jobs. So that is how the journey has been. Yes, I wouldn't say I did menial work. I didn't do menial work, like people scrubs, they clean and all those things. My first job in the US was as a customer services rep for SunTrust Bank, now called Truist. That was my first job. So like picking up from where I left home back home, women's law banking, now SunTrust, then from there I went to this, what's called the state to work as a financial examiner. Yeah, so from there, state of Maryland, and I became a US citizen, and then the government. People struggle very much to get into the federal government. I'll say to the glory of God, my very first application to work for the US government, I was hired. First touch, like one touch, I was in. Great departments too. So that is my story. The US, it came with me being a nurse, physical therapy, with my husband taking him, by the way, and I became pregnant too, and I didn't have money to buy maternity clothes. So I was wearing my husband's clothes because it's bigger than me. So yeah, another story, another time, a lot of things. But hey, now I get it. I understand what God was doing at that time. Yeah. My friend from high school, St. Francis, I didn't know she was in the US. She didn't know I was in the US. But she said she went to training and said, go find somebody. Okay. And she went on LinkedIn and she saw Emelia Addo Marfo-Sarbeng. She said, by the way, people tell me I've not changed. They say I've not changed. So she knew it was me, even though there's a longer name attached to my name. So she reached out and she did a great job. And he shared a type of life insurance that is used as part of a retirement portfolio. So people would normally use it as a supplemental retirement savings to supplement whatever they are doing. So that's how my new chapter was born. So when I decided to give up my federal career, very stable income, but I didn't tell anybody. People have told me to stop. So when you are doing something, you are making a very major decision, it's nobody's business to know, because they'll discourage you. So I let go, no savings, nothing. Okay, no offer, no whatever, no papa, no. But my papa is old, Ghana. Okay, and we're talking about dollars, not cedis. Okay, nobody, my friends, are the people that could help at that time. But I gave everything and jumped in so that if I fall, God will catch me. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah. So the risk, giving everything, full faith, okay, that this will work. I trusted that the Lord will catch me, and He did. He still keeps catching us. That is what we did, the risk that we took, but it was so risky. You're going to educate. Education is free. Yeah, you're going to educate. But what was the guarantee that the money that you made, the $107,000 that you made the first 12 months part-time, what's the guarantee that it's going to keep coming? Okay, because it's commission, it's not salary. But to the glory of God, that income has never come down. Every year it goes up. Every year it goes up. Every year it goes up. I've been doing this 10 years. If every year it goes up, every year it goes up, it's been going up. It's only 2024 that it dipped a little bit, but 2024 we had another downturn. I don't know what we call another story. Anyway, so.